So we are family, right? And you are here. If you signed up for We Are Family, you are in the right place. And that music that you heard is kind of what we listen to anytime we have an event. It's all about the family. So we're going to talk about how to build a sense of community with a house system today. We come from Shaler Area School District, Scott Primary. It is in the southwestern part of the state, right outside of Pittsburgh. Some peeps around here that know us. We even have some Shaler people in here. Love it. So we were made up of 7 schools in our school district. There are 4 primary schools that are K-3, and we are one of them. We're about 3,800 students in our district, and our school is 380. So it's the largest of the 4 primaries. This is our 5th year as a PBIS team, and we reached Tier 1 Fidelity last year, so we got our banner today, so we're very excited about that. And I am Mary Ann Swartz. I am the school counselor at Scott Primary. I was a teacher previously, then an academic coach, and now I'm a school counselor for the last 8 or 9 years. I'm not even sure. I was telling them I couldn't remember. You know how it kind of blends. But 26 years with the school district, and I'm really excited to be a part of this team. I am a born and bred Shaler grad, and that's typical of Shaler. People kind of live there, stay there, work there. My son also went through Shaler, and he's 33 years old. Ugh.
But we're so much fun here. You can't leave us. I'm Nikki Geary. I teach 1st grade at Scott Primary. This is my 20th year teaching. I've been married to my wonderful husband, Justin, for 13 years, and he's so supportive in me being able to do all these awesome things that we do at our school. And I have a 9-year-old son at home, Grayson.
Hi everyone, my name is Danielle Macesso. I'm one of the kindergarten teachers at our school. This is my 10th year teaching. I'm also a proud Shaler grad, Titan for life. A proud member of PBIS, which some of you might know is the best house, or you will find out. And I am a dog mom and a soon-to-be real mom in the spring. I think it's still me. So this is our PBIS team. It consists of staff members in our building that hold various roles. We have down at the bottom, Antiaga, the blue house. Nicole White is our building substitute. We have our building secretary, a handful of teachers that represent K-3, and we have our art teacher who represents the special area teachers. We also have our wonderful principal, Cindy Fote, along with us 3. There's a lot that goes into building a sense of community with the house system. This video is going to give you a glimpse at the big picture, and hopefully seeing this big picture will help you to better understand the specific parts that make the house system work so well for us.
We are both excited and proud to share with you our school-wide positive behavior support system, the Scott Primary House System. Our house system provides the opportunity to focus on creating and maintaining positive relationships among students and staff. The house system is a way to make our big school feel small. Each house represents a character trait that we would like our students to learn and live by. Our 6 houses are Quantum, the Orange House, the House of Respect, Tiega, the Blue House, the House of Perseverance, Ami, the Yellow House, the House of Friendship, Officium, the Red House, the House of Responsibility, Fidelis, the Green House, the House of Trustworthiness, Amicus, the Purple House, the House of Kindness. Each student and staff member of our school has been randomly sorted into one of our 6 houses. House sorting takes place during the first weeks of school. All kindergarten students and new students and staff reach their hand into our magic sorting book to pull out their house color. Once you are sorted into a house, you remain a member of that house forever. Our 6 houses are made up of a mixture of students in grades kindergarten through 3rd. This includes teachers, aides, administration, custodial, and cafeteria staff. Every person who works in our school with our students is part of our family. This gives everyone the opportunity to form relationships with students and staff in grade levels other than their own. Our students work hard to earn house points. The goal is to be the house that earns the most points by the end of the school year. The house that earns the most points earns a special celebration to honor them. The opportunities to earn house points are endless. students can earn house points for showing our 6 house traits, going above and beyond, participating, and many more reasons. In addition to earning house points, our 6 houses meet twice a month for house meetings. During this time, students and staff get to know one another and build relationships. We do fun team-building activities and lessons. Students are asked to wear house colors or the free t-shirt provided to every student on house meeting days. To continue to build relationships within our houses, students will eat lunch with the members of their house as well as gather for a house party in the gym. We will also hold family reunions where the entire school will gather to celebrate student achievements, engage in games and dancing, and announce the current house points standings. Every year, our 3rd grade students have the opportunity to be one of our 3rd grade house leaders. Students who are interested complete an application telling the staff why they feel they would make a good house leader. 2 3rd graders from each house are named our house leaders. These positions of leadership are very sought after by our students. The 3rd graders have a tremendous amount of pride in being named a house leader. The house leaders assist during our house meetings, and they collect our house points every week. Each house has a special quiet signal to say hello to other house members as they travel throughout the school. The house signals represent each house's character trait or color. Every week, one student from each house is randomly chosen from the weekly house points. The students chosen are recognized by having their names announced during our Friday announcements as house heroes. They also get their picture hung up on our house hero wall for all to see. Every morning, our students show their house pride by reciting our Scott Primary Promise. At Scott Primary, we are safe, respectful, and responsible. We are 6 houses, 1 family. The students at Scott Primary develop a strong sense of pride and belonging from the moment they pull their color from our Magic House sorting book. If you walk through our school building, you will often find students discussing their earned house points, drawing the house shield, proudly wearing their house shirts, and an overall excitement about our house system. If you are new to our school, don't be surprised if the first thing a student asks you is, "What house are you in?"
So real quick, can I ask what house are you in? Raise your hand if you picked out a red chocolate bar. All right. Who picked orange? Yellow? Who picked green? Yeah, look at all the greens. Who picked blue? Okay, and purple? All right. Here we go.
So why did we choose the house system for our school? So years ago when our school was beginning, we were actually 2 small schools. We were Jeffrey Primary and Rogers Primary. And we merged together to create Scott Primary. And if you've ever merged 2 schools before, it's an interesting experience to go through, but it has lots of challenges. It brings upon lots of challenges. And one of those challenges that we had is we were 2 small schools, and we really wanted to keep that small school feel, even though we were going to have a larger student body and a larger staff. So in 2016, that wonderful husband that I talked about earlier sent me to a place I've always wanted to go to, which was the Ron Clark Academy. The Ron Clark Academy is a nonprofit middle school in Atlanta, Georgia. It's grades 4 through 8, and it's used as a professional development school. You can go there, and educators from across the country come there for professional development, and they show their engaging teaching strategies. They also feature their house system there. Well, I spent 2 days in Atlanta, Georgia, and after spending 2 days in Atlanta and coming back to Pittsburgh, I felt like I was leaving my family, being that when I was there, I got sorted into one of their 4 houses. And I thought to myself, being there by myself, how powerful this could be for your school's culture, and how I felt like I was part of their family after being there for 2 days. How impactful could this be for children to want to come to school every day, to really be part of something? So I brought this idea back to our team, and we knew this was going to be a huge undertaking to start something like this in our school. So we created our PBIS team. We got together a core group of people who had the same vision for our school. They had that same vision of wanting our school to feel small still and really feel like a family. We started planning in January for the following school year. So this isn't something that we did overnight. We had a lot of planning and preparation go into it before we even rolled it out to the staff. And collectively, we determined what 6 houses we wanted to go with by determining what colors we wanted to represent our houses. We also determined what character traits we wanted to focus on. And then we went through and chose the names of our houses, and we also came up with our 3 school-wide expectations, which are be safe, be respectful, and be responsible. Oh, still me. This is some pictures from us in the beginning. So this is our very first ever matrix that we created, which has grown and evolved so much since then. And then we have Danielle getting together some materials for us for our house points over the summer. And then we love that we have this picture here, because if you looked up what the meaning of at the drawing board is, this would be a good example of that, because this is from our very first meeting that we ever had when we sat down and thought, how can we make this work and what would it look like for Scott? Because we wanted to do what Ron Clark Academy was doing, but keep in mind that that was a middle school, and we wanted to take that and bring it to our school and make it have a primary feel and really make it ours.
And so these are our 6 houses. What we did, what Nikki had said, is we first thought, what colors do we want to use and how many houses do we need? We looked at our total student body and what was a manageable number to have in each house. And so we decided on 6. About 65 in each house. We're up to about 70 in some of them now. Fluctuates a little bit. And then we decided on these colors because they're easy to get things for. Easy to get things in rainbow colors. So that was one of the reasons. And then we all sat down with a whole list of character traits and which ones we wanted our kids to instill, which were important to us. And then we looked up the names, those character traits, and saw different languages that were easy to pronounce that could correlate. So if you look up a me, it means friendship. That's our yellow house, okay? And then we have quantum, which is our orange house, house of respect. And amicus, house of kindness, the best house, the purple house. Fidelis is trustworthiness, the green house. She always thinks it's the best. And Tiaga, the house of perseverance, which is the blue house. And then we have Officium, the house of responsibility, our red house. And so we're married to these. These are our houses, and then we came up with a motto. We didn't have that at first. We felt like, no, we were off to a good start, but then, our AIU people said, hey, how about a good motto? And so we came up with this one. And so at Scott Primary, we are safe, respectful, and responsible. We are 6 houses, 1 family. You will hear 6 houses, 1 family throughout our school all the time. If you start this with any student, they say it. If they see you in the hall, they'll say, we're 6 houses, 1 family at Scott Primary. It's something that is really part of who we are. It's not just something we just say. It is really part of our culture. Every day after the Pledge of Allegiance, every student says this. And then we developed our matrix. Another part of your PBIS is developing a matrix. We decided on expectations. We started out with safe, respectful, and ready. But again, this shouldn't be cemented in. We have to do what works. And so we changed it to safe, respectful, responsible. And then we came up with 2 or 3 expected behaviors. In our school, it's all expected and unexpected behavior. That's our terminology. That's what we use all the time. We never say good or bad. We use expected and unexpected. So these are the expected behaviors on our school. We added this year the chill spot, and we'll get into that a little bit later, how that happened. But every single area of our school has expected behaviors, and there are posters hanging in every area, so that the kids are constantly made aware of, and we're going to talk more about how they are taught these expectations. And every student knows about our voice level. We teach that. Voice level 0, if you see kids walking around with an O held up high, they're showing you they know it's voice level 0. And then we teach them this. In our school, if I say, give me 5, every kid will say that. It could be 400 students in the auditorium screaming and singing and dancing, and if I say, give me 5, the entire place stops and says Titan Pride. We are Shaler Titans, so we wanted to kind of bring that in to part of our house system as well.
Now, as Nikki mentioned, starting something like this was a huge undertaking, and we knew just by planning how much was going to change and how many new bits and pieces we were going to be adding into our program. Staff needed a heads up. They needed time to understand the house system, absorb the information, and ask questions, because without the staff, we couldn't have made this possible. So at the end of the school year, prior to implementing the house system, we had a really fun staff meeting where we explained what the house system was, some big changes that we were going to be making as far as the matrix and behavior tracking and house points and all this other stuff. And then we took this as an opportunity to also sort the staff. So just as you did when you were coming in through the door, you reached in unknowingly. Some of you were peeking, but you picked out what house color you were in. We gave staff members a brown bag. When they opened it, they found a welcome message with candy in their same color as their house, along with some beads. And we also had some spirit wear set out just to kind of get them excited. Doing this at the end of the year was probably the best thing we could have done, because it allowed staff the whole summer to just soak it in, come back refreshed and ready to roll. Now in 2019, we introduced the house system to the students, and we knew that we really wanted to set the stage and get them excited. So we had an assembly unlike any assembly we've ever had. We invited the whole school to come into the gym. Music was playing, teachers were dressed up. We had teachers twirling hula hoops. Some of the teachers had cowbells. It was just a really exciting vibe, and there was just like a very positive energy. So over there you'll see the most magical thing. I'm gonna dip in front of the light. Can I stand over here? I won't touch it because candy will fall out. But this is the most magical thing in our school. It is our house sorting book. This is how Nikki introduced this to the students. Basically, this book knows everyone who is a part of our school and everyone who enters our building. And when you reach into this book, it knows who you are, and it also knows what house you are meant to be a part of. So we explained how house sorting was going to work. And then we had staff members assume their positions in different areas around the gym, while homeroom teachers brought kids up to the front, announced their name. They reached in and picked up a colored cube, and we announced what color they picked, what house they were a part of. We gave them a necklace, and then we just cheered them over to join the other staff members that were already sorted. As you saw in the video, everyone in our building is sorted because we want everyone in our building, cafeteria workers, custodians, resource officers, to know that they are a part of our family and they truly belong with us. These are two pictures. The first picture on the left is from our very first house sorting event, and on the right, that's what our house sorting looks like now. So once you are sorted into a house, you remain in that house forever. And this is just a really exciting day because the kids dress up head to toe in their house shirts and their spirit wear, and they wait anxiously in hopes that every student is picking their house and joins them. And like I said, this is really exciting for everyone involved, even those of us that plan and are behind the scenes all the time, because sorting is random. The only thing we plan is how many cubes and what colored cubes go into the book, because we want the houses to be relatively equal in number, but we have no idea, kids have no idea, and it's a really exciting part and way to kick off the year.
And it's extra exciting whenever there's younger siblings and they get sorted into the same house. It happens really frequently, and that's another reason we say the book knows where you're supposed to be. So a big part, a driving force of our house system is that the students are earning house points for following our expected behaviors or demonstrating our expected behaviors. So they can get them for that. They can get them for showing our character traits, for going above and beyond, really anything. And one thing that's great is any adult in the building, our paraprofessionals, our custodial workers, our cafeteria workers, office staff, everyone has the opportunity to give a house point, so it doesn't matter where they're at in the school. There could be walking down the hallway and there happens to be another teacher walking and they can give them a house point. It's not just in their classroom. Once they get a house point, they write their name in their home room on it, similarly to how you did when you came today. Then they go to their house point bin and they put it in their respective house color. And every Thursday we collect the house points and we announce the house point totals on Friday.
Last year, these two ladies were lucky enough to come to the conference and they brought home some wonderful ideas. This is one of them. I believe it's Lionville School District. Lionville Elementary. Props to them. We needed a way to ensure that all of our students were taught the same expectations throughout our building from someone on our PBIS team, just to ensure consistency. So we took their idea of having a passport day. We created passports that all of the students carried around with their homerooms. They went to different areas in the building. They learned what the expected behaviors are in those areas, and then they received a sticker that they stuck at the bottom of that page. This was a really great day for all of the kids. Our secretary came on the announcements as the flight attendant and told us what boarding areas to go to. And then when students were done learning about all of the different areas, they could take this passport home. So this was a great way to communicate with families what our expectations are in school, in hopes that, you know, they reinforce those same expectations at home.
We hold house meetings at least once a month, and what's amazing about our house meetings is we come together as a house. We use different locations around our building. We use our cafeteria, our music room, our gym, our library, and some other larger classroom areas. We come all together. The kids wear their house colors, their house shirts on those days. And we really spend that time just getting to know one another. We teach our 6 house traits during that time, and you do that through reading stories, doing crafts, playing games. We really just do a lot of getting to know you activities during that time. And something that was said in the video and is just so powerful about the house, our houses in general, is the fact that it is a mixed group of adults and students. So it's not just all kindergartners there, or all first graders, or all the same homerooms. So you could have a kindergartner that rides with a third grader on the bus, and they're in the same house. So that third grader kind of becomes their friend, based off of having this time together in their house meetings and building relationships, and it helps in all areas of our school. So it's also really great because we get the chance to work with each other and build the relationships among our staff. For example, Miss Fote, our school principal, is in my house. We have our Title I reading teachers in my house. I have a second grade teacher who's on another floor that sometimes I don't see her for days. So we have the chance to come together, and I've had teachers say to me, I love the fact that I get to watch you and how you speak to the kids, and I get to watch you teach. So we get to see those positive parts of each other and take that back to our classroom. I love how you did this. I love how you said this. I love how you rewarded so-and-so. And we take that back with us. So it's just a really great time for us in general to all come together. And then all of our houses have developed house cheers over the years, that we usually get together at the beginning of a house meeting or at the end of the house meeting. We'll say our cheers together. And you saw in the video, we also have waves that we use for the hallway. So we teach those at one of our very first house meeting. And they're either the color, like this is for Tiaga, and it means blue, and kindness and green. So it's so adorable when you're walking down the hall and a new little kindergartner is giving you this wave. I mean,
Or they do all the ways because we just love everything about it.
So our house meetings are a chance for us to get together and really build those relationships.
Every month we highlight one of our 6 character traits, and we do this in a variety of ways. We have our house leaders give daily announcements that include tips and tricks and challenges for how to show that expected behavior, that character trait throughout the day. Our counselor visits each and every classroom and teaches a specific lesson on that character trait. If you walk through our building, you'll know what character trait is the focus. We have bulletin boards up. Our librarian makes book displays with books that we can pull for those specific character traits. And the students are all about it, because when they are demonstrating that character trait, they have a chance at earning double the house points. It's a free reward. Doesn't cost us any money, but if they earn double, they are just like over the moon excited. Students who have their house being celebrated and focused on that month also get to spend some extra time with each other. They have lunch bunch with Mrs. Swartz. They also get to have a house party in the gym. They just get some extra opportunities that give them chance and time to spend with each other.
Sought after position in our school is a house leader. And you have to make it to third grade. You have to be the big kids in school to get this position. They start in kindergarten talking about being a house leader. Do you think I'll be one? I said, I don't know. You never know. And so at the very first week of school, I go into all the third grade classrooms and I talk about what it means to be a house leader, what we're looking for in a house leader, and that anyone has the chance to be a house leader. And so I explain the process, that they have to fill out an application. They have to list 3 staff members that would recommend them. And some of them take this very serious and send videos to these staff members because they really want this position. And then they complete it and they have a due date, and we take all of the applications to the library one morning. The staff is invited to come in and read all of the applications and given 12 stickers, and they get to vote on 2 per house. And the student with the most votes is the house leader, and we have a big announcement assembly for that. It's a big deal to be a house leader. Our house leaders get to lead the house meetings. They get to collect and count the house points every week. They miss their recess for this. So that's part of my explanation. You have to be willing to miss recess. And they want to. They make daily announcements. So if it's their house's focus month, they make the announcements every morning for that. And these are just some of our house leaders. This is our current year's house leaders. We have a nice display in our front lobby of the house leaders. And it's just some information to get to know them a little better, some little facts about them, that they answered a little questionnaire. So that will be there all year so everyone knows who the house leaders are in our school. We started something new this year with collection of house points. They have envelopes, and you're assigned either K1 or 2-3 because they're on separate floors. And the house leader goes out and collects them, and this year I created a form. It was pretty cumbersome before on how are we going to count all these house points. Well, I created a form for K1. It has all the students in their house on this form, and so they count out that students and tally it and put the number on that sheet. They're so good at it now. And at the end, it takes them less than a half an hour. They don't miss any more than the recess, and they count out the week's worth of house points. And so that has become very helpful. And then we enter that data into one of our Google Forms so that the teachers can see how many house points they're giving and each student is earning.
At least, or once every 9 weeks, we hold a family reunion, which is exactly what it sounds like. Just like when you go to your family reunions, you're coming back together with your family who you may have seen yesterday or you may have seen a while ago. And so we bring our entire school family back into the gym. We reunite, we play games, we dance, and we use this time to recognize students who are doing an amazing job by giving them awards. This is some pictures from some of our family reunions. We have some kindergarten teachers giving some awards out. You can see how our teachers really get into it and get all dressed up for the occasion. Some fun dancing, and then this shows how we sit in our family reunions. This is the first family reunion that we hold every year. It's an annual tradition that we have. So each classroom, each adult and each student in the whole entire school gets a rectangular sheet of paper, construction paper, in their house color, and they write their name on it and they decorate it to represent them. And then we put them together in our homeroom, so they're all different colors of the rainbow in our homeroom chains. And we all come together at our family reunion in the gym, and we have a little ceremony where we connect all of the homeroom chains together, and we connect our Title I specialists, everyone who is involved. I think sometimes even like our superintendent comes down and is involved with that as well. Anyone who can come is always invited, and this represents and signifies that every link in the chain is important, and if one of the links would break, our chain wouldn't be as strong, it would fall apart. And every person in our building, every student and every staff member are all an important part of our family, and without them, we wouldn't be the same. So we hang this in our cafeteria all year as a reminder of that for our students and our staff. We host house parties. Every house has, as Danielle said, a featured month. So we just had Respect in October, and this month starting today, it is AMI's featured month. So we will be featuring the House of Friendship. So they come to the gym with Mrs. Schwartz, and It is a reward that everyone has the opportunity to get. No one gets the house party taken away from them. It's not something they are pulled out of to sit out of. And this year we had parent volunteers help us facilitate this with Mrs. Schwartz in the gym. So our parents also really love our house system, our families, and they're really enjoying the opportunity to come in and be part of it. So that has gone really well so far.
They also get to come to lunch with me once a month, one time, when it's their houses. So Quantum was in October. I take kindergarten and second grade on the same day because they have different lunch times, and then first grade and third grade on a different day. And we have this all planned out for the year so that they all know that they will come and have lunch with me. And I use this as an opportunity to really get to know the people in your grade level in your house. For kindergarten, we really just focused on learning each other's names. And we went around, and by the time we were done with lunch, they knew everyone's name. By third grade, it's more a deeper dive. Let's get to know them a little more. You know, how many brothers and sisters do they have? What are their likes? What are their dislikes? Just really become a sense of community. They look forward to this lunch. We did it last year too, and they love having lunch with their family.
Once every January, we have another family reunion that we call the House Winter Games. And this is a great way to bring our family back together after being home for winter break. We play lots of fun games like Human Hungry Hippo and Minute to Win It challenges. Students who compete in these games have the opportunity to win and earn house points. These are some pictures from our winter games. When planning the winter games, we always try to plan a house leader event, a staff event, which is always really funny, and an event where all of the students can participate in. And if you take a close look, you will see almost all of the kids are decked out head to toe in their house color. Their shirts that are provided by our lovely PTO. And a lot of them purchase things outside of school to amp up their spirit wear, but they also create things. During morning meeting or inside recess, you'll find kids drawing pictures of their shields or making a headband for an upcoming family reunion. So the love for the house that they are in is just, it's really amazing.
So we recognize our students in a number of ways. Our house points in general are one of our basic ways that we recognize them. When we started our house system, it was really important to us that we taught them how to be intrinsically motivated. We did not want to be constantly giving them trinkets and toys and prizes. We wanted them to be proud just for being told, great job, here's your house point. And we did that for two reasons. One, like I said, we wanted them to be intrinsically motivated. But the other thing is we didn't really have the money at the time to be spending money month after month on prizes. And it's actually really amazing because when they earn the house points, it's really cool to see because the other kids that are in their house will celebrate them. But the kids who aren't even in their house will say, hey, great job. Good job, Bryson. Good job, Matt. You know, it doesn't matter that it's not their house. They're just happy for one another. In the cafeteria, when they earn house points, everyone gives a silent cheer. So they really are motivated just by a piece of paper and a point for their house. We do our house heroes, which you heard about in the video. We take one house point out of each house after we collect them on Thursdays. Those house heroes are announced on our morning announcements. We also send them out through Remind so our families can see who won the house heroes for the week. And the students get called to the office and they get their picture taken and their picture goes on the house hero wall. Little to no money is spent with that, and it's really exciting for them to get their picture up there. We announce our weekly house points, and then we give lots of different reward certificates during our family reunions, like Raise the Role Model and Growth Awards and Spirit Awards and things like that. Here are some examples of those. And again, doesn't cost us really any money. And then this year we designed an area to showcase our house points. We had this vision for this for quite some time, and it finally came to life this year. And so every house has their respective bin, and after the house points are collected, we put them in their bin, and then we keep a running total of the house points for the entire school for the kids to see. So it's a really great visual for them to see the house points adding up. And actually that picture was taken a few weeks ago, and our house points are doubled since then.
Can I add in that, Mrs. Geary's husband is amazing, and she went to him and said, hey, can you build these house bins? And of course he said yes, but we ended up just asking the PTO, and if you ever need anything, never be afraid to just ask, because out of nowhere we found this connection, and in no time flat we had these amazing boxes that we've been trying to figure out and build on our own for years. And then up here are the banners. We just purchased these this year with some of the funds. Did the PTO buy these for us? From our funds, a combination of things. But these are displayed in our entryway, and they have the years listed for every house that has been a house champion. So you'll see green is up there.
You see blue up there.
Purple's coming. Their time will come. But this is something that anyone who walks into our building, it's the first thing they see, and it's a really eye-catching reminder of what our ultimate goal is. Students work all year long to earn as many house points as they can, not just for themselves, but for their house, because the ultimate goal is to be the house that earns the most points and be given the title as house champion. At the end of the year, we have a final family reunion where we gather, we celebrate. We always start with music and a dance party, and then we announce the overall total of house points that our whole family earned together. And then we announce how many points each house has earned, and we award the house champion. We give them a trophy. They get cupcakes, a decorated playground, and some extra playtime. And that's just another reminder that kids don't need an over-the-top extravagant prize that cost a lot of money. They're thrilled for cupcakes and a decorated playground with extra playtime. We do try to treat them every once in a while and give them surprises. So up in the top left corner, you'll see we did make house-themed baskets to just surprise them with and raffle off at the end of the year. Those bins that you saw the house points in, we picked 1 point from each of those bins and awarded a member from each house. The baskets were really cute. They were color-coded with a character trait book, beach towel, sunglasses, some candy, and other things that the kids could kind of just take home and start off the summer with.
We know this sounds really fun and exciting, but we also know that you can't have a rainbow without a little bit of rain. Life isn't all rainbows and sunshines and hearts. So we have had some roadblocks that have come up as we have gone along our journey with using a house system. Our very first one happened really quickly because we rolled this out in 2019, 2020, and we all know what happened then. So we had to get really creative on how to keep our kids engaged, especially towards the end of the year, because our district actually didn't go virtual until the following year. So we weren't even really, we were sending out videos and things like that. So we had to get really creative. We made fun newscasts that are embarrassing to look at now to really keep them engaged with our house system. And even when we came back, we still couldn't be in large groups, so we couldn't really get together as our houses. So we did what we could to keep our excitement and to keep the ball rolling and keep the energy alive, and it worked because we're here. And one of the big things that we know is coverage. Everybody knows this. There are no subs to be found anywhere. So that can be definitely hard sometimes to making sure that we have the right amount of teachers in our house meetings, that people aren't out. Sometimes it's a little bit of a scramble. We try to take teacher feedback too, so we made sure that we adjusted our schedules and not always having our house meetings at the same time, so that if that was someone's prep, they weren't missing the house meeting or they weren't missing out. And then for planning and prep time, that's always going to be an issue. That's always going to be something that we have to overcome. For our prepping, we actually had our PTO help they are now formed a little committee that helps us with prepping of materials, things that we need. And for planning, we do a lot of we all have rules in our in our team. So us really sticking to those rules, you're the person who's in charge of data, you're the communicator, you're the person who is creating those morning announcements. Everyone takes their own role, and it really helps with not feeling so overwhelmed when everyone has jobs to do.
As you know, with any PBIS team, it has to be data driven, right? We make decisions based off of data. What do we need to change when it works? So we do a lot of incentives for those expected behaviors, but of course you have to have something for the unexpected behavior. So we created something called a checkbook, and we have one over here for us. And every teacher has a checkbook that they carry around and they take everywhere they go. And inside of this checkbook, we have a class roster. So they have a month's worth of class rosters in here. And there's this little sheet that shows a little key. If they're in the classroom, they get a little C. If they're at recess, it's an R. If they're in the bathroom, it's a B. So that we can track the data where students are doing the unexpected behavior. Also in here are major and minor. They're defined. We looked at this. Yes, please. We looked at the school districts. Oh, we have a matrix in there to remind the teachers. And then we have a list of major and minors. We looked at the handbook for the school district and what they did. We want to be the same. So we listed that for the teachers to reference, and also a reminder what we give house points for. And then we have a wonderful flow chart. Wait, we have to go back. Flow chart. It's going to, don't touch. So this discipline flow chart we came up with because we wanted to give teachers options. So I know it's very small, but it will, if a student does an unexpected behavior, go to your flow chart and it gives you some ideas for how to change that behavior. If they're dysregulated, how can we regulate them? How can we get them back centered? How can we get them working back in the classroom again? Not right straight to the office unless it's a major. Right, so we have minor behaviors. What can you do in the classroom to change that and bring it back here to take them back up again? So we gave every teacher this. We actually had a little training with them and taught them this flow chart and what to do to make your way back up to the expected behavior. Reflection sheets were really important. Parents needed to know what was happening. So if a student gets 3 checks in their checkbook in one day, a reflection sheet goes home to the parents. And it'll say on here that your child receives this many warnings today, and I enjoyed our conversation. We're trying to get the adults in the school to call anytime a student gets 3 check marks, so that we have that communication happening. That this isn't just coming home without a phone call first. And then it's returned the next day. With that let me go to the next one. With that comes an ODR, an office discipline referral form. That stays at school, that never goes home. Okay, this is for office, so if a student has 3 checks or a major, they get this form filled out by whoever the adult was that was with them when it happened, and it goes to the office for the principal to review. And she usually makes the decisions on what's going to happen because of that behavior. All of the data from this is put in a Google form that I keep so that I can quickly see how many ODRs Johnny had, and where are they happening, and what time of the day. So collecting that data will help us with our Tier 2 interventions, and that's the whole point of an ODR. We had a lot of bus issues. I went to the bus thing earlier today, because bus, as you know, is very difficult. Our bus drivers change often. It's hard, as you all know that. And they don't write them up, and so a lot of it's student reporting. So we had to have a way to keep track of it. So we started with these bus reflection sheets, and they take these home. And on the back of this is the school district rules for the buses, so that the parents can review that with their students. This is what came out of our very first month's data this year. We assigned one of our members to be data, and so she's creating charts monthly, and she presents them at the first 5 minutes of our staff meeting and shows them that this is our data for the month, based off of your checkbook. Every teacher has access to their Google sheet that has the house points, so they can check every week how many they're giving Johnny. Or am I giving enough? And every one of them got their own classroom check data. We didn't give that to them in a staff meeting. We don't ever want to be like a gotcha with data. We want it to be a learning process. And so we just talk about whole school data when we're with everybody, and then they all got that in their mailbox, their individual data. As you can see, the classroom has consistently been, because that's where they spend most of their time, consistently been where they get the most checks. So this year we created a chill spot. We said to our staff at the very first staff meeting, we are hearing you. We see that the issues are happening in the classroom. How can we help when you have these dysregulated students? So we created a chill spot, and we said, you don't have to do it this year, but if you want to, please sign up on this paper. Every single homeroom in some of our specialty areas signed up for it, which is amazing. But then we said, we need all the supplies, right? All these people want one. And so we put an Amazon wish list out to purchase all the things we needed, and our parents supplied. Amazing. We got Big Joes for every single one of them. I created the expectations for the chill spot, which was presented at our passport day. So every single student heard the expectations for the chill spot. And then when I went in to do my first lesson of the year, I again talked about the chill spot and went over to it in each classroom. 5-minute timer. We talk about how that works and that those are tools, not toys. And they can repeat that with you. Tools, not toys. Do we use these at Inside Recess? No, we do not. Right? So the chill spot's just a place for kids to become regulated.
Money, money, money is always a problem. And like Marianne just said, our Amazon wish list that we pushed out to families at the beginning of the year was fantastic. Things were getting bought so quick that we sat down and we had to add more because families just wanted to help support our house system and everything that we're doing. And as part of that wish list, we added in items that we were planning on using as fundraisers. So these are the 2 fundraisers that we've done so far this year. We have our Boo Gram fundraiser. Students got to pay $1, send a note to a friend, and then the day before Halloween, they received that note with a glow bracelet. That fundraiser cost us $0 because someone on the wish list purchased the glow bracelets for us. We also had vinyl sticker paper, and some of us like to do crafts and make things, so we created stickers that are the house shields, and we added those stickers into our school store. So when our PTO comes around once a month and sells items to earn money for the PTO, they also have a chance at buying some stickers off of our cart.
Communication was another really important piece of our PBIS team, and we need to not only communicate with our families but also our staff. For communication with our to home, we can have a principal's weekly newsletter. We use Remind. We have a Facebook page for our PTO, and they have their monthly meetings. We send home a monthly calendar. Mrs. Schwartz sends home a monthly newsletter as well. And then as far as the staff goes, on our PBIS team, we actually have 2 people, myself and another teacher, who are our communicators. That's our role. And it's nice to have 2 of us because we will type up the emails and send them to each other, proofread it for each other, and make sure everything is real crisp and clear so that when it goes out to the staff, all the questions are already answered, so you're not getting 15 emails back with the questions. And then a big thing that we added this year through taking the feedback from the staff and really knowing that they wanted even more communication was that over the summer we created a year-long calendar, and all this calendar includes everything that's related to our house system. So any family reunion, any house party, family lunch, house meeting, everything is scheduled out and planned for the entire year, which helps us with planning as well. And also our day-to-day things for our school as well. Days off, our staff meetings, our data meetings were also included on this. And we gave this to our staff at the very first staff meeting of the year, and we got a wonderful response from our staff. It really made a difference for them. They felt more included, and they felt a lot better knowing what was coming for the rest of the year. And that gave a lot more buy-in.
We've also given this to all the administrators in the district so that if they've been sorted into one of the houses, they know when the house meetings are. And even our AIU people, everybody knows when our house meetings are so they can come and join in.
Staff buy-in, you can't have a program work without the support of the staff. And we know not everyone is going to buy in right away, but I will say over the course of time since we've started, everyone is on board. At the beginning, we found that, some teachers were handing out a lot of house points while others weren't handing out any. And we decided to start raffling off Jeans Day passes. So, on Friday when the house heroes were announced, we also announced who that teacher was that gave out the house point, and they were awarded with a Jeans Day pass. We try to acknowledge the support of our staff as much as possible, so we put together snack carts, little drink floaties to thank them for keeping our PBIS system afloat. And we also kind of like to thank them in advance before some things by giving them, little trinkets and stickers just to show how much we care and how much we need them to make this work. Staff buy-in has been great. We were worried because this was a big thing we were introducing to staff, and some people don't like change, and some people have been there for a long time. But I think with our persistence, we've been working and we're not giving up, and we're there.
And I think too, with the consistency that we have, that's made a difference, because sometimes you roll things out in your districts and people will say, well, this is never going to stick, we'll be doing something different next year. Well, we made it through a pandemic doing this, and so I think people were like, oh, this really is sticking, and then they really started, once they got into it, to see the benefit of it. If you're thinking that this might be something that could really benefit your school, maybe the house system sounds great for you, I'm here to tell you that it only takes one person to ignite your spark. So all those years ago when I went to the Ron Clark Academy, I sat there and thought, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I want to be part of something like this, but this will never work. We won't have enough time to do this. The amount of people, the money that it would take, there's just no way you could do this. But I brought that idea back to my team, and they loved the idea too. So my spark helped build our fire, and our fire has been burning ever since. So if you're here by yourself and thinking, this sounds so incredible, but we could never do it, you can do it. You just need to find those like-minded people with the same vision that you have for your school, and it could really change the trajectory of your school and the culture of your building and really touch thousands of children's lives.
So if you have any questions about it, we are always willing and open. These are our emails. We will send you anything we have. We are generous, and we will share. Anything that we have is open for any of you. We want you to have success, and yes, we're going to do the raffle. And we want you to, she's very excited. If you want to do this, we want you to have the success that we've had. It is amazing. And when we say it's our culture, we're not just saying that because we're presenting. It really is Scott Primary's culture. It is who we are. My vision always with Nikki was, I don't want any student to feel invisible. And this is a way that students don't feel invisible. Does anyone have any questions before we do your raffle? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a couple questions.
Absolutely.
First of all, I think it's just amazing.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you. Thank you.
When you were talking about the lunches that you
Yes, the lunches that I have.
how many students, are you saying that's the whole?
It's the whole kindergarten so yes, I just do grade level. So it could be sometimes up to 20. Like the kindergartners is always my biggest group because nobody has moved. Right, so they're the kids that are I'm dragging tables in and chairs in right before. The rest of them, kids move through the year, so I get to probably about 15 usually. That's why we're kind of strategic when we put those cubes in, which house has, to try to keep them even. So one house isn't huge and another one is small.
It is definitely a lot of work, and you might have noticed we've said Marianne's name a whole lot. She goes in and teaches lessons, she does lunches. That's why staff buy-in is so important too, because she leads these things, but she also has a team of teachers that, when they're available,
Come and help.
they reach
Our
out.
staff
Yes,
is
they don't want me to retire ever.
Those family lunches as well.
Yes. Right. Well, yes. It actually goes, it's the hard part is it's like herding cats in the cafeteria, but the staff does jump in and help me. But that's the hardest part, is getting them in the cafeteria. But once the first group, everyone sees how the first group does it, by January, it's like well-oiled machine, and I'll carry water bottles so they don't drop those, right? But and we go down a long hall to get to my room and we do it.
That calendar has helped.
Yes.
In the past, she would come in and say, oh, kindergarten, it's your day today. But now the teachers know, and we can prep the kids, hey, if you're packing your lunch, don't even go into the cafeteria.
Yep,
Sit
stand
right here in
here.
a little group,
Yep.
and only the buyers have to.
And the parents know. So maybe they're going to pack the lunch that day. So they make it a little easier on me, right? And I have to start paying attention to like pancake days and stuff like that. Yeah, syrup everywhere. I don't, but
One of the other things with that is, so in the beginning, when they're in kindergarten, the houses are evenly distributed. When they come to first grade, second grade, third grade, we do not pay attention to that for how we sort
No.
our classrooms.
So when we make class
so like
lists-
I might have, it somehow always
Yes.
ends up happening that I have like 6 blue kids also with me, which I love, because that was also one of the things I forgot to say. This also creates relationships before these kids ever come into your classroom. So these 6 kids that I have in my class right now that are in the blue house, I already knew a quarter of my class before they even came to me. So how powerful was that I had a relationship with those 6 kids before the year even started?
so they're evenly distributed in kindergarten, but after that,
Wherever the car.
we don't make our class list based on the house you're in.
So sometimes there might be like 2 kids
Mm-hmm.
or 3.
Like our one first grade doesn't have any from the red house. It's just how the chips fall, and so but it's a great program. Did you have anything
I
else?
have one other question.
Yes.
And then at the end of the year, when you tally up the points, or the other, like, how do the kids handle the
You wouldn't believe it. They're
It's amazing. We teach them that though.
Yeah.
Like not everyone gets a prize, not everyone's going to win, but look at how many house points you did earn. That slide, I think it had almost 40,000 house points. So each house on their own is earning.
But every week I announce the house point winners for the week. So every Friday morning I announce house points. And so this week Amicus won. Whoa, Amicus. And we all cheer wildly. So weekly they might get the winning. And so when it gets to the end of the year and we announce it, it's really, you wouldn't
I mean,
believe.
you have the
It's, yeah, but nothing like
but
you would
nothing
think.
outwardly, like, we never ever let anyone say anything negative. What comes
No.
out of your mouth needs to be
Positive.
and make other people feel
Right.
good.
Yeah, there's no booing in other
Never.
house or anything like that. We're all celebrating one another.
And really it
Don't
is.
think in your house is the
But right, you should see the cheering and the wildness of it. The one time that kids get disappointed is the house leaders. When we announce the house leaders, there are tears. I'm not gonna lie. People cry.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, I tried to, be ready for that because it is hard. And the parents get upset because it's a culture, right? And so, but not everybody gets the prize.
Yeah.
So, and I think that they've gotten used to that. And it really is voted on by the whole staff. And it is not the popular kids. It truly is not, which has been pretty cool.
And there's going to be letdown no matter what you do in life. So even if they don't win at the end, there are some kids that are bummed out by it. But it also is a really good life lesson.
Yeah, correct.
that You're not.
And then
Everyone can't be the champion. You do.
Right. And you can be fired as a house leader if they get a major.
It's happened.
It has happened. If you get a major, you can be fired. And I warn them all of that. Because you're supposed to be the best behaved kids in the whole school. So we should not be getting check marks in major behaviors. And so I just had a girl I had to warn. Like, that's not okay what you did. And so know that this is your warning and the next time you're out. So we're not afraid to do that. So the next person in line who had the next amount of votes will take their place. And we've done that. And we're not afraid to do that because you should be the elite in our school if you're a house leader.
I feel like we should pick.
All right, are we ready?
Questions?
All right. Thank you. All right, this is for Ami.
This is for the yellow house, so you might not get the same one as the
Yeah,
candy bar.
it's okay if your candy bar doesn't match your winning
Eileen
bag.
would